What's up, guys?
It's sick of living just to die. Sick of giving no room to try. Staying stuck in a world that doesn't want you there. Because you can't see the future, what's left behind. Incessant searching as it's left you blind. What's around you, what's really here. All the time is trying to keep you sane. Stick out a hand, dull the pain. Pick you up when there's no way to stand. Is there something I could say? Make it a moment, make it go away. All I wanted was you understand. Tell yourself another lie. You got to fall before you fly. I'd like to help you reach the sky, but the best still comes around, and you never even try. Oh, we don't want you to die. All of them is trying to keep you sane. Stick out a hand, dull the pain. Pick you up when there's no way to stand. Is there something I could say? Make it a moment, make it go away. All I wanted was to understand. Stick out a hand, all the pain. Pick you up when there's no way to stand. Is there something I could say? Make it a moment, make it go away. All I wanted was to understand.
How's everybody doing? Welcome to this weird thing that social distancing has required us to do, but Pirates Press had an amazing idea, and they've been killing it as far as trying to give people a vehicle to reach out and have a little bit of interaction with people that make music and vice versa. So I really appreciate them, and I appreciate you guys, and this is I'm good. I'm doing well. I have very, very little to complain about. That's one of the things that I think everybody should try and remember, that no matter how badly we have it, there's probably somebody else that's going through something either similar or worse. So I still have a job. I'm still getting paid. So I am in absolutely no position to complain whatsoever. My family is healthy. We have toilet paper for now. So that's those are all good things. So I'm gonna play a couple of songs. Again, this is really weird. So bear with me, because this is a new vehicle. Living for Today. I've never heard of that song. Is that like a country song, or? Oh, Living for Today. No, I've never heard of that. Broken Cuffs. What's up, buddies? How you doing? So again, I'll play a couple songs, and then if you guys have questions or whatever, Ferris is getting lunch, but she'll be back soon. I'm sure there are significant amounts of people that would rather see her, and I don't really blame you. Idle Action, never heard that one. So I did a side project with one of my best friends in the world, the drummer for Noise, Kenny. It's called Stadium Way, and we did a 7-inch, and we just haven't gotten around to writing very much more music, but we really want to. I'm in kind of a writing funk. El Paso is good. I'm in El Paso. Noise has been practicing social distancing since July, and very effectively. But the boys are working on new stuff, and we have some new stuff coming out soon that we did before I left. But yeah, El Paso is interesting. It's windy. We love it. We can still get Mexican food, which is rad. Takeaway service is still going. You can get takeaway margaritas. So yeah, Soul Rebel. Here's some Stadia Away. We'll do that. I wrote this with it's a ring out note, and that gives people time to stop listening, which hopefully a lot of people did.
Ever in egress, ever afraid, ever reminded of those who betrayed. Try to fight through the doubt it won't take. A commitment to deceive your biggest mistake. You're finally bound for a crowd you can't play. Losing the race, ever a sin and a falling from grace. Hard to move forward when you're on an place. Nobody's there to keep pace. How far can you fall till you find the person you were, the one left behind? Deep inside you're defined by a lie. A decent facade on display on the outside will never be, no matter how hard you try. Losing the race, ever ascending or falling from grace. Hard to move forward when you're on the place. Nobody's there to keep pace, far from the place you used to be. The shadow of yourself, the one you can't see. Blind to your plight, oblivious now, and dusted and creeping within somehow. You're losing yourself, you're blind to who you've become. The last work undone, no heroes and song. Have you forgotten just where you come from? Losing the rain, ever ascending or falling from grace. Hard to move forward when you're running in place. Nobody's there to keep pace. Losing the rain, ever ascending or falling from grace. Hard to move forward when you're running in place. Nobody's there to keep pace.
It's weird because acoustic stuff is always scary because nobody moves at all during your shows, which is like for a punk band, that's the worst thing when everybody just kind of stands there. And at an acoustic show, nobody moves anyway. But on a telephone acoustic show, people just, I appreciate the clapping and stuff. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. But it's weird, but it's awesome that we get to do this because I haven't played any music for anyone other than Ferris in about 9 months. So this is rad. Golden Girls, I wish I was there yet, but that is a song. It's kind of like if you cover like, we've covered Coxbar, which was dangerous, but if you cover an iconic band, like if you cover The Clash or you cover Coxbar, if you covered Blitz. It has to be done very, very succinctly and very pragmatically. And I think covering the Golden Girls would be just, man, it would either make or break our band. I think it would destroy. Mom, my mom's here. Good job. You figured out how to get on, and then you figured out the clap emojis. That's great. Is Aunt Carol with you? Do you know how to do the thing? Right there. Mom? Yes, out on an island. So yeah, I was in a band a long time ago called Airs and Graces, and we covered Out on an Island every once in a while at a show, and we didn't do it very well a lot of the time. I would forget the words a lot, and that would be cool. Mom, everybody's saying hi to you. Do you know how to? It's frustrating because I can't. Mr. Belvedere, yeah. Yeah, I could do that. Mom, you guys don't understand what a technological step forward this is for Mom to be on here, because it's really something that Mom is on here. So maybe in an hour or so she'll be able to comment. So yeah, any questions anybody has? Again, we have a couple of new songs coming out on Pirates Press. Some of you guys may have seen the next release. It's going to be called Lost. And Pirates Press did a phenomenal job of creating the vibe. There's Mom. Hey, everybody. Yeah, so it's called Lost. We wrote it about just kind of where we are, or where we think we are as a society, and how I think a lot of us have gotten away from what it is that we consider to be our like inherent kind of values. Aunt Carol, she said, "Bite me." That's not nice. That's not nice. Yeah, so the single is coming out very soon. Check Pirates Press. Pirates is actually doing we would love to come to Poland, man. I would absolutely love to come to Poland. Hello from France. Bonjour. We can't wait to come back to Paris. It was probably one of the top 5 shows we have ever played was in Paris. Yeah, that I can't say enough good things about France, about Europe in general. That was an amazing time. We wish we could have spent more time there, but as a lot of you guys know, I am in the Army, so I can't take a whole lot of time off of work. Of course, we'd love to come to the UK. Of course, we would. Kansas? Yes, of course, we'd love to come to Kansas. I was in Fort Riley a couple of years ago, and I rented a car, and I went to the hotel, and I forgot that I left my window cracked, and there was like a tornado, and I got into the vehicle, and my butt was wet for my meeting. It was pretty cool. Southwest England, hello. Oh man, we'd love to come to Hamburg. Hamburg again in the top 5 shows we've ever played. Germany was absolutely amazing. It's really amazing to go to these different places and really have people know about your music for one, but listening to people sing along to your music is it's pretty inspiring. And if we didn't have the chance in person when you were at our shows, just thank you so much for coming out, everybody. And somebody just posted about Punk Rock Bowling. Yeah, it is really hard that Punk Rock Bowling is not happening this year. But I will say this: the Stern brothers do so much work. They put so much work into that festival, and they do so much for so many bands, ours included. This would have been the 4th time we played Punk Rock Bowling, and the first time we played, hardly anybody knew who we were. I mean, that's probably still the case, but even less people knew then, and they asked us to come and play. We got to play with Global Threat, One Way System, and the Cro-Mags, which, like, how does that? It's just amazing. But yeah, so new single called Lost, kind of about where we are and where we used to be and kind of the differential between the two. And we don't ever, Noise doesn't really do overtly political topics because we don't want you guys to, I've always had a problem with bands that go out of their way to tell you how to think or tell you what you should think about something. Because honestly, I have my own opinions. Nate does, Kenny does, Jesse does. We're usually in congruence as far as politics is concerned. But honestly, it's not my place to tell you guys how to think. I would rather write a song about what I see going on, and everybody that does us the service of actually buying the record come to their own conclusions as to exactly what that means and what how they feel about that. So our songs are more like a snapshot of what's going on, and Lost is very much like that. There's a lot of nastiness going on in the world, and I think the COVID-19 situation has definitely exacerbated that. But it's also shown a lot of people their strengths and the good in a lot of people. I see a lot of people staying at home and making masks, people donating money, people donating food. And in that same vein, if you guys can support local businesses as much as you possibly can to help them ride this out, it's imperative that you do that. I said it before in a little Instagram thing, but like Amazon, they're going to be fine. Walmart, going to be fine. They're going to make sure that they're fine. And again, this isn't a big political corporate speech, but it is about the people that live next and left and right to you. The people that are in your neighborhood, the people that have supported you when you had hard times. Because there are a lot of small businesses that have supported Noise since the very beginning, and they're hurting right now through no fault of their own. So it's really important that if you want to buy a record, if you want to buy a shirt, if you're thinking about getting a haircut, in this century, get a gift certificate. Get a gift certificate for a tattoo. Support these guys as much as you can. And I know there's a lot of people that are in a really, really bad way. And if you don't have the means, don't worry about it. Then focus on, your family. But if you have the means to support local business, please help them. Because when this whole thing is over, we're still going to want to go to shows. We're still going to want to get tattooed. Sorry, Mom. We're still going to want to get haircuts. I really need one. Yeah, you're right, brother. The mom and pop shops need help the absolute most. So if you have the means, please support small business. Please support each other, because this is really a time where the best and the worst in society is kind of amplified. They might have my TP. I don't know. We've been going to a Korean grocery store a lot, but we're good on TP for now. We have like 20 rolls, so like for the next 72 hours, we should be fine on toilet paper. Ferris uses more than I've ever seen any human being use in my life and yours. So, yeah. Any questions about anything? We do absolutely need to stay united. Because as soon as we start drifting apart, then the things get worse, which is ironic since we're supposed to be staying apart. But you know what we mean. Yeah, promoters, venues are having a really hard time. I don't think a lot of people have really understood what this is doing to promoters and to venues, and they really need our assistance. So, that's a great question. The question was, have brass, which is slang for higher echelons of military leadership, have they ever given me any grief for any songs? No, they have not. And this is why. I don't make definitive political statements in my songs because, as I stated, I don't think that's my job. I think my job is to kind of look objectively at things, and if the lyrics come off as kind of ambiguous, the reason is because I want you guys to come to your own conclusion as to what the song is about and how you interpret it, because the whole point of this music is for it to resonate with you. And if I'm telling you exactly what it means and telling you what to think and telling you what to believe, it defeats the whole purpose of punk rock, because I should provide you a blank canvas, and maybe put a little bit on there, but the remainder of it should be to your own discretion and to your own. Basically, you surmise exactly what that song means to you because it's supposed to resonate with you. This is a very personal kind of music, and that's why the shows are so great. Because yes, UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice. Yes. So, but getting back to the question, no, I don't. I've had very supportive commanders my entire career. I've been very blessed with a lot of great commanders. I've been blessed with a lot of great assignments, a lot of great soldiers. So I am very cognizant of maintaining a very professional bearing when I do all of this and when I write these songs, which fits very well with the whole vein of not preaching to people and not telling people how I think definitively about something. I do write about social unrest because there's social unrest, and the majority of it is trying to find common ground and trying to make sense of things that may not seem like there's any sense to be made. So that's a big part of what it is that I do. But yeah, I've never had any issues, honestly. Mom, I'm not playing James Taylor for many reasons. Number one, I'm not that good. Number two, I don't know any. All the way, brother. Everyone all the way. What happens? What happens when retirement hits? I don't know. I'm a ways away from that. I'm currently at the United States Army Sergeant's Major Academy in the Great Fort Bliss. I will be heading to the 82nd Airborne Division, hopefully later on this summer. And I have a few years before I have to think about retirement. But when it does, I can promise you there's going to be a lot more noise if we're still able to walk. But yeah, it's been a delicate balance between the Army and the band. It always has been. And as we've been fortunate enough to get a little bit more notoriety and more people have started listening to us, the opportunities to play more shows have come along. And that means really having to make some decisions as to, every band trip that I take, that's time away from my family. And I think 2018, we played all over the place, dropping the bucket to a normal band. But for us, it was a really big deal. We played a lot of shows in a lot of places, and that's all time that I spent away from my family. And so those are really hard choices to make. And at a certain point, you have to understand what your priorities are. My priority is my family, and then the Army, and then noise. So our entire existence has been a very delicate balance of those three things for all of us, because all of us have jobs. And Nate has a very trying schedule, so every time we take a band trip, he's not getting paid. So I'll let him talk about that. But that's it's something we have to consider every time that we decide we want to play. Matt Beard. Oh, Matt, there's a painting I'm particularly fond of, and it's of three soldiers. Shelby Foote, rest in peace. So Matt, the Beard 113 there, for your edification, is one of my best friends in the world. We were in Afghanistan together, and he got to hear a lot of the Rising Tide record before it was written, much to his chagrin, I'm sure, because some of those weren't very good when I wrote them. But Matt, I miss you, buddy. I love you. Yeah, Scarf over there was it could have been a big hit. Hey, before I forget, there's a young man out there. His name is Ethan. He's turning 13 years old. Ethan, happy birthday, buddy. I remember when I was 13. I think my dad yelled at me for something, and then I got a T-shirt. It was a long time ago. But sent a request to be in. Figuring this out the same way you guys are. I have little to no idea what I'm doing. How hard is it to schedule shows in advance? Hi there. It's very hard because you never know what's going to happen. Fortunately for us, there haven't been a whole lot of shows that we've had to cancel. We've had to cancel Spain before, which sucked. But that wasn't because of my job. That was actually Kenny was being selfish and had a child. But every once in a while, stuff happens with the Army, and we do have to cancel. We had to cancel Rock the Ship a few years back for Army stuff, and it's a bummer. But fortunately, again, I've been in some amazing units with some amazing officers and NCOs, so they're super supportive of what it is that I do. And the other piece of that is just making sure that it doesn't compromise your ability to effectively do your job. So I think that's true in anything. I think that employers are always going to be a little bit more laid back when it comes to giving you time to, explore opportunities if you're effective while you're there. Vice is just not doing anything ever and then asking for some time off. So that's what I've tried to do. You're very welcome, buddy. You're very welcome. And happy birthday. 13 is a big one. It's kind of cool because 13 is the same as like 16 now because you still can't go anywhere. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I will play some more songs if you guys would like. I mean, I can't hear you, so.
Two sides with designs that are just the same. Masterminds with designs and nothing's can change. An illusion based on how they improvise. Part of the trick, polypolarized. Two sides that comprise of our future state. Well, our future state. Tell us where our sides go. Well, the line is drawn. It's hard to pick a side when the lives of the beasts is for all of the choices made. You fill our city streets with hate and narcissism. You fill your pockets while you jostle for position. I look around this town and I just can't believe our lives divided with precision. Tell us where our sides go. Well, the line is drawn. It's hard to pick a side with the lives of the beasts for all of the choices made. There's a price to pay. With the places you stay today. Keep hoping that it go away. But history tells us it all ends the same way. Tell us where the side's going. Where the line is drawn. It's hard to pick a side when the lines and the beasts for all of the choices. We don't ain't got to take our pride. Leave us in a place where we can compromise. Meanwhile, we can follow with a better day. With a better day.
Okay. How are you guys doing? How's everybody doing? Hey, Mark. How you doing, buddy? Dude, we're not going to get to have brunch this year, it looks like, which sucks. And then we got Mark from Booze and Glory. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Sorry, Mom, I'm drinking a beer. Hey, Leash, we miss you guys. Yeah, so I think a lot of us are bored out of our skull. Thanks, Aunt Carol. I love you. Hey, Hannah. Johnny, what's going on, brother? Yeah, so we're all bored. So we're spending a lot of time online, right? Because I've been ignoring my screen time updates on Sundays because they're depressing and sad. the internet, the social media is always kind of a nasty place, but I think it's gotten exponentially worse. And I think it's attributed to a couple of things. Number one, I think people are kind of scared because it's okay to be scared. It's a pandemic. And the other part of it is I think people are really trying to politicize this as much as possible and, you know, implement the told you so narrative. And man, again, who am I to tell anybody what to do? But it's so incredibly dangerous and divisive, and it's just not necessary right now. Now's the time where we really need to like support each other and not argue over who has the most deaths and who's going to have the most deaths. And you know, it's not a time for that. And I understand that it's a typical reaction. I'm a big history nerd, so I know a lot about the Black Plague. Black Plague, it was, first of all, an exponentially worse disease, but the manner with which people reacted to it was really terrifying. And it you know, manifested itself in pointing fingers and blaming people for different things, which really sucks. It's not really anything that helps anybody out at all. People deleting each other over, you know, COVID-19 stats and 5G. The 5G thing, I don't know. By all means, believe what you want to believe. It's just, I mean, if you're mad at people for not believing the same conspiracy theory that you subscribe to, maybe just, I mean, everybody's not going to agree with what you agree with. Pushing On is one of the best albums ever. Thank you so much. That was, Pushing On is actually a compilation. It's the very first full leak that we did, and that was at Pirates Press, and that came out the same day actually that we played that show with Rancid and Coxbar in 2012. It was Rancid's 20th anniversary, Coxbar's 40th anniversary, and Rancid asked us to play. Lars Fredersen specifically asked us to play, which was amazing. I was actually still in Afghanistan at the time. Shot me an email, and he said, you guys are playing with us. And man, that was easily one of the most amazing experiences for us. We had no idea what we were doing. We came to San Francisco and we played the show, and it was just absolutely mind-blowing just to be able to see Rancid and Coxbar. It was really astonishing experience. But we've gotten to do a lot of that stuff. And we're extremely grateful for all the opportunities that we've had. And we're extremely grateful to all of you guys, honestly. The reason that I wanted to do this is, you know, as odd as this whole avenue is, being able to interact with other people and just tell them how much we appreciate the support. Those guys, you know, you guys that are actually continuing to buy and support us, our merch, and, you know, listen to our music, messages saying that, you know, our music is getting you through this time. I can't express how much that means to us, because believe it or not, that helps us get through this as well. Knowing that something that you have written and something that you have put out resonates with some kid in, you know, Mexico or Colombia or Russia, or it's a feeling that really can't be replicated by anything else that I think. And that's attributed to you guys. It's attributed to Pirates Press, attributed to Diana and Randali in Germany. Our very first labels, Longshot, Contra. Just, they're immensely great people that are in this music. And that's why we still do it. Because it's worth something, right? We're never going to get rich, and we're never going to fly around in private planes. We're never going to get into Twitter wars with that Trapped band, which I had never heard of them. But apparently they think they're really good. And but that it's inconsequential. The reason we do it is because we love interacting with you guys, and we love making music, and we love the fact that somewhere there is a kid that's going through something similar to what I went through when I was a kid, and listening to my music, and it's helping them. That in and of itself is worth absolutely all of the work that we put into this. James, What in the hell are you laughing at? I'll take my answer soon. Patriot. So, yes, my first band did a very, 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 very mini tour with Patriot. I've been listening to Patriot since I was a kid. I used to go to Patriot shows when I was very young, 18. When they would come to Atlanta, they'd play with the Anti-Heroes. I still talk to Eddie. Yeah, it's yeah. Getting to see those guys was always great. Eddie was always great. When we played with them, I played with my old band. We didn't do a very good job, but that's okay. People still enjoyed Patriot. Hey Nate, I love you, buddy. Miss you. Hey, Nate's coming up here in 24 minutes. So I'm going to give you guys a bunch of questions to ask him that will irritate him. And then it'll be, yeah, John, you were there. Hey, so our guitar player had a hard time tuning, and we took a 30-minute break during our set for our guitar player to try and tune. So that wasn't embarrassing at all. I almost started doing like stand-up because there wasn't anything else for me to do. Hi, Ruby. Can I play Betrayed? You know what? I actually have not. We have played with Slapshot. That is it. I haven't played Betrayed since we recorded it, honestly. And we're guilty of doing that a lot because we'll write stuff and then we'll play a show and we play the songs that have been in our repertoire for a while. But yeah, Slapshot, great friends of ours, amazing band. We were actually, we played with them in Portland and Seattle last year. Yeah, and then they played the Street Dogs show, the series of shows that we played in Boston. But those guys are amazing. They're amazing people. Jack's buddy was with my daughter Ferris. They're homies. She'll be here pretty soon, I guess. But yeah, we love Slapshot. Boston bands in general, there's a lot of them. Death Before Dishonor, it's a good one. Thank you. Yeah, so the Street Dogs, so the Street Dogs who recently disbanded, unfortunately. We had the pleasure to play with them 4 times in 2018, and man, that was as I said before, like this genre of music. One of the reasons that it's so much fun to be in and so much fun to support and so much fun to play is the fact that it's filled to the brim with really good people. I can count on one hand the amount of times that I've met a band that I really liked and then was turned off by the manner with which they conducted themselves. That is a huge bummer. But again, it's very seldom that happens. And something else for you guys to remember is that a lot of times, like, if you're at a show and you approach someone and they seem a little standoffish or, you know, whatever, they're not flowing with like gratitude or whatever, consider the fact that it's a possibility they're having a bad night. And there may be something going on. Try and maintain a level of like objectivity about that and not immediately jump to the conclusion that the person's an asshole. I'll never support this band again. Because everybody has a bad night. Try and give everybody as much courtesy and respect as you possibly can. But every once in a while, maybe you got a bad call from home or something bad happened. And you try to put on a good face for the show and, leave before you leave Texas Liberty and Justice with noise. Liberty and Justice. That would be cool. I actually got to do some vocals for those guys. And my good buddy Ryan, another great business to support, East End Barber out of Houston. There's actually a GoFundMe up right now. Ryan did it for his employees. They have an online website. They have records, Fred Perry's, pomade, all kinds of stuff that you can get online. Don't buy any of the extra large stuff because that's for me. But everything else, please support their GoFundMe. Great time to get involved and try and help people. Dogs in the Fight. What's going on, guys? How's things in Boise? You're not allowed to say Boise. I found out. They'll correct you. It's pronounced Boise. So now you know. Yeah. The fact that the Street Dogs left is obviously a bummer, but, you know, given everything that those guys have going on, and what they have done for music and what they have done, you know, just as people, as human beings, nobody can fault them for deciding that it's time to take a break and call it a day. They were willing to do a split with us 7 years ago, and you know, the way that came about is I actually texted my good friend Johnny Rio and said, "Hey, would you guys like to do a split with us?" And I was kidding. I never thought that would actually happen. And he came back and said, yeah. And the downside of that was we had to come up with some music that was good enough to be put on a record with the Street Dogs. So it came about. It was amazing. Yeah, you can totally mispronounce Boise to irritate them. That's fine. I'm just for your edification. What you do with that knowledge is entirely up to you. If you choose to mispronounce it, you can call it Boise or whatever. Yeah, Lenny's still doing great things. Johnny's cutting hair, and I'm sure he's still doing engineering stuff when this stuff blows over, and still recording bands. They're all just great people. So any project that they get involved with after this is over, I would definitely support. Yeah, the split. I appreciate that. I think I do. I don't know. There are a few noise records that I actually don't have. We would love to come to Europe again. We've tried to plan a couple of trips, and because of my work situation, it falls through. We will be coming back to Europe though, without a doubt. Really going to try for 2021 to come to Europe, and we will be talking to Diana, our other mom from Germany, and trying to make that happen. Yeah, we can't wait to start playing shows again. This is a really weird time. This is a weird venue. I'm gonna play another song because I feel like I should shut up.
Always all alone, always a step behind, always on the outside, can't seem to get it right. Slow walk the street on his own, with races to the sky, and he asks why he's all alone. Man alone will just destroy a lifetime locked inside routine, still is on the outside. Small space inside such big dreams, when you're never on the right side. Oh, family by your side, still you never try, still you wanna die, screaming to the night, can't take it anymore, you walk right out the door, into a world that hates you, won't let them waste our lifetime love inside routine, still is on the outside. Small space inside such big dreams, when you never on the right side. Oh. Never comes, horse it never wins. Lifetime that is passing by while you wait for shit to come in. So soon ask himself why. Well, I need the one to choose. Because life's a fucked up race, and the race is yours to lose. A lifetime locked inside routine, still is on the outside. Oh, it's a small space inside such big dreams. We never on the right side. Oh.
Thank you. And Debbie. And man, my family's here. So, Quiche My Grits, which is super clever, number one. Number two, that's my Aunt Debbie. She has an amazing Southern food blog. It's really, it's amazing. But she has a cookbook. She has all kinds of stuff. So Quiche My Grits, the thing. Travis, how you doing, brother? I love you too, man. Yeah, Quiche My Grits. It's good Southern food. Booter and all. Booter and all. So yeah, I got like 15 more minutes. So any questions, anything you guys want to talk about? I don't know what happened to the kids. I have no idea. I think they're at lunch. How did the band come together? And on the outside, I'll answer both. Band came together. I did not start Noise. Nate did. So I went to a tattoo shop in Tacoma, Washington called Tsunami Tattoo that our friend Tim owns. And I was getting tattooed by a gentleman named Craig Brown who lives in Portland now. That Historic Tattoo. You can also support his small business as well online. He's selling paintings, I believe. And Nate was kind of into my my first band for whatever reason. And we decided to get together and start playing some songs. He had already put a group together, and that was with our friend Miko and our friend Chris, who worked at Tsunami. And I just kind of filled in as the bass player, and instantly it was just fun. It was really fun to do. So we decided to really work towards making a 4-song 7-inch. We really just wanted to record a couple of songs. We didn't think anybody would listen to them. And then we asked our friend Justin Miller to come in on guitar, and he did a absolutely phenomenal job. He was with us for 3 years, I believe, before he had to leave the band for military purposes. He's an Arabic linguist. But anyway, our first show was December 26th, 2009, I think. And we played in an all-ages venue. Hardly anybody was there. We played with some great friends called Crooks to Kings, some guys from Tacoma, who our friend Shane is in a band right now called Ancestors of God. You should absolutely check out. Phenomenal. It's not punk, but it's amazing. Yeah, ever since then, we just, we added Jesse, who actually recorded all of our records up until the time Jesse joined the band. He had actually recorded, a guy named Tony recorded the first 7-inch in the forest. Nate found this awesome studio in the forest of Washington. That's where we recorded Walk Beside Us. And Jesse recorded This Is Who We Are, the Idle Action single, and then Rising Tide, he recorded that. And then when Justin had to leave, Jesse joined the band. Which was amazing. We're super lucky to have him. But yeah, that's the story. Kenny joined in 2012, right? I think Rancid was like his 3rd show. I was in Afghanistan, and then Miko left, and Kenny came on board. How did you get started with music, and what was your first instrument? That is a really good question. When I was 15, I went to live. My dad was doing this job where he lived away from us, and I was getting into some trouble. So my mom sent me to live with my dad, and I had this guitar, and I didn't know how to play it. And I started just screwing around with it in the interest of trying to write songs and sing. I just wanted to sing. Whether or not I was very good is debatable, but that's all I wanted to do. So I just started picking the guitar. It was an acoustic. It was an old acoustic guitar, and I wrote my first song when I was 15. It's called Over the Creek or something. It was something Into the Woods. I don't know, something stupid. But yeah, that was my first punk record. Minor Threat. was the first one. It was good. Idle Action. Yeah, Idle Action. I actually wrote Idle Action on the acoustic guitar. I originally wrote it just as a but like a lot of our songs, wrote it on the acoustic, and then when I showed the guys, obviously I was playing bass, and the songs come out so differently, and it's really a cool dynamic where you get to hear something that you wrote on an acoustic guitar. And at the time, I had a really bad acoustic guitar, but listening to it come to life in the studio while we're practicing is just, man, just incredible. And I miss it a lot. I miss our Tuesday nights and being able to play with the guys. No, there's no acoustic version of Idle Action. There is an acoustic version of this one, though.
There's another lots of getting out to sea. I've been washed away along with all your pain. Now you can't remember which side of the line you're on. Whatever happened to an harbor about prosperity? Bonnie's and me don't must succeeding in society. America's waking up, we better sleep so long. So are we who they say we are, making pieces of the story of a work in progress. If we promises are leading more of the same. Anything space from disregard, and this nation's going low with the standards regress. Keep a nation in the dots and start us out of lane.
Nate, I wish you could sing it, man.
Can't make sense of the mess that's in front of me. By the enemy of just that property. Wanna feel like nothing's stopping me. No fear, clear peace on you and me. Watching people as they shop their connections. Don't know if it is fact or fiction. Pick a side and stand to the left, to the right. There's a circle in the middle and you're not inside. Oh, we who they say we are, making pieces of the story of a work in progress. If your promises are even more of the same. And being space on disregard, if your space is going low with the sand regress. Keep the nation in the dark, so it's about to start a rain. God is rising out the lights are getting on the sea. I've been washed away along with all your clarity. Now you can't remember which side of the line you're on. Whatever happens to an hollow about prosperity, promise they made a massive scene in its sincerity. America waking up with us sleep too long. So we who they say we are, making pieces of the story of a work in progress. If your promises are even more of the same. And being space from disregard, if your speech is going low as the standards regress. Keep a nation in the dark, someone's bound to start a rain.
Okay, that was great. So yeah, we got about 5 more minutes. So how long until you grow a beard and go acoustic punk? Ha ha. I can't grow a beard because it looks stupid. So the answer is never. I will never do that. And yeah, that's pretty much. Where's the start? So Ferris went to lunch, and I don't know when she's going to be back. But when she gets back, I will probably put her on for a little bit. But yeah, again, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out for a little bit. Yes, Pomona, California, our home away from home. Our brother Gonzo, man, another guy that just like absolutely works his butt off and going through a really hard time because, you know, everything has stopped. So when these shows come back, when the world opens up again and we're allowed to start being ourselves and start going to the places that we want to go to and enjoy the things that we want to enjoy, man, be very pragmatic about where you go and what you do and who you support. And I'm not preaching. What I'm trying to illustrate is the fact that the floodgates are going to open and you're going to want to do so much stuff. You're going to want to go to every show. You're going to want to go to every, you know, movie theater, restaurant, whatever. Remember the people that supported you and that were good to you, and remember the people that had the hardest time when all of this was going on. And it, again, just my opinion, those are the people that you should support. If Gonzo in Pomona, California is putting on a show of characters, go to that show. Because that guy has bent over backwards for this music, the scene, my band, for years and years. So same thing, the mom and pop shops, the restaurants, the people that always greet you when you come in the door, that are always, you know, they know you by your name. They, you know, do everything they possibly can to facilitate what it is that you want in a business and try and make sure that you have a good experience. Man, go there. Because I'm telling you right now, nobody, I'm not going to slander any businesses, but Walmart doesn't really care if you're having a hard time right now. I don't think that I mean, they could, you know, really, really care. But the small businesses absolutely do, because they're going through it with you. They're having a hard time too. And when this stuff blows over, hopefully, there will be an opportunity for us to give back and help those people out and get them back on their feet. And that's, I think, our obligation if we have the means to do it. So again, I know everybody's going through a hard time. Yes, Gonzo absolutely does put on the best shows. Even the ones that we play end up being pretty good, despite our inclusion. But Pomona, California is an amazing place, and we love to play there. Punk Rock Bowling is an amazing festival, and we love to play it. But we can't do it. So what we have to do is invest some of this time, maybe some of the time that we spend fighting with each other online. You know, diners, drive-ins, and dives. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Yeah. Steph and I, when we were much younger, were on, we went to Flavortown. We took a boat. No, there's a place in Tacoma, another mom and pop restaurant, phenomenal, Southern Kitchen on 6th Avenue in Tacoma. We went there after a show, the morning after a show, a little worse for wear, and a camera truck was there, and turned out Guy Fieri's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, which is very hard for me to say, was there. And Stephanie is included pretty prominently. Also, my buddy Christian from Dallas and I, but they didn't focus on us very much for obvious reasons. But Steph, my wife, has a very large cameo in that show. And interesting postscript, they got mad at her for not describing the fried chicken correctly, which I didn't know was a thing. But they asked her what made it authentic Southern fried chicken, and she said the spices, the way that it's cooked. Apparently, that is not the way that you describe Southern fried chicken. So we got in trouble for that, and she had to redo the scene like 3 times. I don't know if she ever properly answered what comprises real Southern fried chicken or not. But I don't know.